Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to the channel where we do stuff outdoors and drink a little bit too much coffee. I wanted to make this video today to talk about some of the things that I've done to my truck to set it up a little bit better for me and my dog to be able to do our outdoorsman stuff, camping, hunting, fishing, hiking, biking, and as well as my Monday to Friday being a general contractor with all my tool storage and whatnot. The problem that I've been running into is trying to utilize the back seats in the most efficient manner to store tools, but with still having a space for the dog and to be able to carry a passenger. Because currently he sits up front with me, and that's not ideal when I need to take someone with me. But I don't have kids, and I don't particularly need the back seats for passengers very often. More often I just need that space for either my coolers going camping or tools during the week. So I built a bit of a platform that allows me to have all my stuff below it and then still have a bit of a bed for the dog on top. So I'll take you around to the truck and show you what I'm talking about. So this is a 2017 Silverado 2500 crew cab. So what I've done here in the back is I've made a platform here that allows me to have tools and stuff below. Right now I've just got the radio and some pack out boxes, and then storage up top so I can get to the things low without having to unstack things all the time. So right now on top I've just got my coffee maker and a bunch of batteries in this bag here. If I take you around to the other side, you can see a little bit easier what I'm talking about. So I've got a tote below there right now, bunch of fluids and stuff for the truck, and a little mechanics tool set that I just keep on here full time. But basically it's just a 3/4 inch cabinet grade birch plywood box that I've made that's got cutouts on the left and right legs and a center divider, so I can still reach in and get something under the seat if I need to. But it's also stable enough that it doesn't flex around when the dog is on top here. So he can sit here, pretty much hang out with me up front. I kind of cut out the center console a little bit so that the plywood comes right up to it. The idea here was the height is the exact height plus an inch of my cooler. So I can fit my cooler in here no problems, and then still have enough room for the dog. I definitely recommend, if you're gonna build one of these though, take the time to measure your dog if they like to sit up. I got lucky, and mine, he's right here with me. He's just a 2-year-old Australian cattle dog. He's a blue heeler, so he's not very tall. So he just fits perfectly sitting up. But if you have a shepherd or something, you might wanna think about either making this lower or hopefully training your dog to lie down more when they ride in the truck. So it works pretty good for me. You can see his paw prints all over here because he still crawls into the front seat, but it's a pretty easy transition if he does want to come up front with me. Makes it also easy for me to throw my backpack there and still get at it or get at my lunch and stuff while I'm driving. And actually probably makes things even safer because all my tools are down below, so if I have to stop really quickly, nothing's going to be flying up here and hit me, which is pretty important. You don't realize how important that is until it happens to you, and then you realize how unsafe all of your stuff is in the truck. The box itself, it's all glued and screwed together, and it's all scribed to the floor and to the seats themselves, so I had to assemble it in place. It's not too hard to take out, just comes out in pretty much 2 pieces now. I can take the top off, and then the legs, they fold in, and it pulls out pretty easily if I have to. But I haven't had to take it out yet, and I'm hoping I won't have to. But it works pretty good, and it's pretty securely in there, so I'm not worried about it flying up and hitting me or falling apart with the weight of the dog and stuff on it if I have to hit the brakes. So it's been working pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with it. I actually got the idea for this from a YouTuber, Jason at the Primal Outdoors channel. He built one for his dogs because he does a lot of overlanding and camping and hunting and stuff, so his dogs are with him all the time. So what he wanted was a better solution to be able to carry a passenger, because he has 2 dogs and one sits up front and one in the back, but he can never take a passenger with him. So he built a platform that allowed to have storage below for all his camera gear, and then the 2 dogs in the back and a passenger up front. So that was the inspiration for my build here, and so far I've been really happy with it. So I'll kind of give you an idea of how this works. So basically I got my stuff on top, tools below, I've got a radio in here, my pack out boxes. But there is a center divider that I made sure was placed perfectly in the center there, which fortunately for me allows me to have a cooler on both left and right. But if you have a smaller truck, you're going to want to measure the size of your cooler and place it accordingly, because some of the smaller trucks I've seen, I think like the Chevy Colorado or something like that, or a Ford Ranger, if you put it dead center, you're not going to be able to fit your cooler in there. You're going to want to offset it to one side or the other. So for a full-size pickup with a crew cab like this, you're able to fit cooler both sides, no problem, but maybe an inch or so to spare with the door closing. But it works really good. Be able to take my tools out and throw a cooler in if I'm going to go on a long trip. If it's just a weekend up to the cottage, I'll leave the tools in there, put the cooler up top, dogs on the other side, and it works really good. And it actually has the added benefit, something I've noticed, of keeping my cooler a little bit colder, because they're not getting the sunlight directly on it. And when I've got something expensive with me, like my laptop or my camera gear or my tools, because they're quite expensive too, it kind of adds a bit of a security feature to it, that if somebody, like if I left the window down or somebody broke the window, they can't get at that stuff as easily. Now I know if they break the window, they could probably open the door and get in there. But somebody walking by, looking in trucks, all you would see is a carpet and maybe a couple bags of miscellaneous stuff on top. You're not going to be looking down below and see, hey, this guy's got a bunch of expensive tools I should steal. So I haven't had any theft issues yet, thank goodness, but it's been nice so far for what I've needed it to do. So that's kind of just a quick walkthrough of my my truck storage solutions that I've kind of come up with. I've got a whole bunch of other ideas for it. I've done a few things to the weather guard toolbox in there, and then same with some side rails and whatnot. And I've got a bunch more planned for some upcoming camping trips to be able to sleep in the truck and maximize the storage out of that. So I'll show you guys that in a later video. But today I just wanted to kind of go over that back storage rack and kind of what the purpose of it is and how I like it so far. I think there's a bunch of guys that have done DIYs on YouTube on how to make one yourself. It's really not complicated. I bought 2 sheets of plywood from my my local Rona. I chose to go with 3/4 inch good one side, like paint grade or cabinet grade birch, just because it's really smooth. It's a clean look. You're not going to be getting splinters from sliding things in and out in kind of a confined space or worrying about that with your dog. But if you want, it's probably not that hard to take a palm sander to a piece of OSB or a regular sheet of plywood. But for me, it was worth the extra couple bucks because I wanted to paint it, have it kind of, I varnished the top so it looks a little bit nicer, and then just painted all the lowers black so it matches the leather in the truck. It works good for me, but it's not a complicated build. It's literally just plywood, pre-drill some holes, wood glue, and some cabinet screws. If you guys are actually interested, I will take all the tools out of there, which is not too much stuff in there right now, so it won't be too much trouble, and do a proper walkthrough of how it's made exactly. If you want to copy the design, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, just let me know in the comment section below. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down, I guess. But it was one of my first videos, and yeah, let me know what you guys want to see from me. We do a lot of stuff outdoors here, and during the week I'm a contractor, so busy on lots of different job sites. Let me know what kind of content you guys are interested in seeing, and I'll be happy to start filming some of that for you. Thanks guys, cheers.